Up next, the Spurs taking on the Grizzlies. Welcome aboard, everybody. This is Wednesday Night Basketball of the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony and Coach Stan Van Gundy. And joining us from the sidelines is David Aldridge. The grind of the NBA season wears on, but what a pleasure this year is turning out to be. Let's check out the West and see how the standings look. You look at the Grizzlies, the season well underway, and they've been solid in third right now. And checking out San Antonio, not really any threat right now as their record showing a lot more losses.
And you know, for the Spurs, they had much bigger things in mind when the season started. They didn't think of themselves as a middle-of-the-road club, but right now, that's where they are.
Yeah, they wanted to accomplish more this season, but things haven't quite worked out. Some bad breaks along the way.
Now, look at Memphis's starting group. The forwards for him, Bane and Jackson. Ja Morant, he's out there with Wells. And it's Edey in at the center position. And for the Spurs, outside, the wings are Vassell and Barnes. Zohan is the four with the lengthy Wembanyama playing the five. And it's Paul in at the point. Such an interesting player, isn't he, Coach Jeremy Sohan? He played a lot of point guard during his second season.
Yeah, Kevin, the Spurs experimented with Sohan at the one. It was a bit unconventional. They went away from it later in the year. But that experience as a point guard will continue to help his playmaking ability as his career progresses.
Jackson deciding where to go with it. Bane inside the three-point line. Again, the miss by Bane. Pass to Sohan. Paul outside. To the wing right side. Just 5 to shoot. And he uses the glass on the layup. Paul's got his second bucket of the game to go.
The strength and balance of Paul overcoming some physical defense there.
Wells with it. They look to him for part of their offensive attack. Right now, he averages nearly 12 points a game. And that one is good.
Yeah, so skilled offensively. Getting the ball in his hands is generally a good idea.
Paul against Morant. And Paul gets it to go in.
And how about CP finding space around the rim?
Pass to Edey. Draws contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
Yeah, exceptional play there to take the bump and still get it to Paul.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
And, of course, we'd all like to see his percentage at the line improve, but he just does not have the touch right now. He's in the 60s.
Free throw good. Edey. Around mid-season, Stan, when you were coaching, would you still try out new plays and tactics and schemes? Or was the recipe set? Was the formula in and that was it?
Well, Kevin, the bulk of what you do is set, but you're always tinkering. And as people start figuring you out, you've got to have counters to what you're doing. So your system is always evolving. You're always trying to get better, and you're always doing new things.
And let's check out a breakdown looking at some of the stats for Jeremy Sohan.
There's been a drop-off in the rebounding numbers. He seems to be getting out-muscled on the glass in a way we didn't see earlier in the season. His last 10 games, the totals have taken a huge hit.
And guys, hold on now. I'm getting word we have Shams Charania calling in. Shams, what do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. Well, the Spurs with some experienced additions, bringing in Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes. Their mentorship is likely just as valuable to this young roster as their contributions on the court. And with legendary head coach Greg Popovich, they're creating an environment for growth in San Antonio. They're really building things the right way, guys.
All right, Shams, we appreciate the report. Wembanyama, a screen on Morant. And here we go. Fast break, and Morant's got it. The pull-up, Bane, no good.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
From 12 feet out. Jump shot is good that time.
Yeah, and that mid-range shot is really Vassell's primary weapon.
Paul against Morant. To the paint, and the foul called on Victor Wembanyama. That's foul number 2 for him.
Wow, that's a tough foul to take there. That gives him 2 early on, and the coach might have to cut his minutes a bit.
The Spurs making a switch here. Champagne's checked in. Konchar's checked in for Memphis. Morant scanning the floor. And that one, good.
Well, the defense is going to give Morant that shot. They're trying as hard as they can to defend the rim. That opens up the mid-range jumper.
Here's Vassell. That's good, and it's Wembanyama with the assist. Vassell's got his second basket of the night. The Grizzlies trail by 3. Morant outside. And the rejection by Wembanyama. Shoots from 12. Misses off the right iron.
Not pretty. You've just got to shake off a miss like that.
Konchar on the wing. Pass to Jackson. Jackson is doubled. Morant with a wide open look. Morant with another miss.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
And the rejection by Jackson. And it's out of bounds. The Spurs able to retain possession here. And timeout is called by Greg Popovich. He's going to have a discussion here on the sideline. And the Spurs with some changes. Collins checked in for Wembanyama. Harrison Barnes comes in for Sohan. And Castle is subbed in for Paul. Memphis also making some changes. Brandon Clark, he's checked in for Edey. And Pippen subbed in for John Morant. .115 left to play in the first quarter. Spurs working the ball around now. 6 on the shot clock. Here's the floater. And the shot goes down.
Man, I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Pippen feeling it out a bit. Clark sets a screen for Pippen. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
Here's Castle, defended by Pippen. Vassell against Bain. Collins setting the pick for Vassell. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
And he's got his first free throw of the game.
And he's at nearly 90% from the free throw line this season, so having a terrific year.
And he can't get the first one. The Grizzlies making a switch here. And he sinks the second. 19 seconds left in the first quarter. Jackson against Barnes. Jackson setting the pick here for Pippen. And again, it's Memphis with the three. From deep three-point territory. And he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. Tie game in San Antonio. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in just a moment. And some good action in the books as we get back to the game that's been pretty close here so far. And guys, what's your take on the Spurs so far?
Way to set the table. Offensively, they dominated on the interior.
Well, if they're going to be that ferocious inside, this defense is in for a long night.
And so it's Pippen with it. He brings it up for Memphis. So it's Paul on the bench. Here's how the floor looks for Greg Popovich. Zach Collins is out there with Barnes. Then it's Castle. Then it's Trey Jones. And it's Champagnie in at the three spot. 6 to shoot. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. Open for three. And he wills that one in. Sinking right through off the back iron.
That's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
Yeah, it's certainly worth it to disrupt the offense. Coaches notice that extra effort.
Jones, the pass to Collins. Back to Jones. Collins, a screen on Pippen. Jones from outside. That doesn't go, and he's 0 of 1 from the field. Greg, no one questions the Grizzlies' talent. The challenge has always been availability.
Yeah, whether it's been injuries or suspensions, it's hard to get into a rhythm when you're missing key players. But when they're all on the floor, Kevin, they can beat anyone.
And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Kevin, with the Grizzlies' injuries last season, there was a lot put on Jaren Jackson Jr.'s plate. Coach Taylor Jenkins says he loves the challenge and the growth opportunity. Jackson said, you always work on everything. You work on your game because you love it. And if you get a chance to use it, great. Kevin, back to you.
And he's always working on his game. All right, David, we thank you for that report. Stolen by Jackson. With the drive, it's tipped. It's stolen by Jones. And a fast break now for the Spurs. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. Stan, of all the different styles of offense in this NBA, what style is the toughest to defend, toughest to stop?
Kevin, I don't think there's really any difference in terms of styles or systems in terms of what's tough to stop. It's players, and it's how well a system maximizes their best players. That's what makes teams tough to stop.
First one falls for him. And the Spurs winning the 2023 lottery stand, adding the terrific Victor Wembanyama. A franchise changer, it appears.
Yeah, Kevin, the hardest thing, and you need a lot of luck to do it, is to get that guy. The guy you can build everything around. There aren't enough of them to go around. Victor Wembanyama is a guy you can build a championship franchise around, multi-skilled at his size. This guy's going to be a fixture in this league for a long time.
Barnes against Jackson. Shot clock at 6. Down low, and the dunk by Jackson.
Putting that length and athleticism to use. Jackson rises up.
And we've got a timeout from Greg Popovich. He's ready to talk things through with the team. And the Spurs with some changes. Victor Wembanyama is checked in for Zach Collins. And Jeremy Sohan subbed in for Barnes. The Grizzlies also making a change. Ja Morant, he's checked in for Pippen. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Here's Castle. And trying for the go-ahead basket. It doesn't go in. And here's Morant. He'll bring it up for the Grizzlies. Only giving up 2 points this quarter. Pass to Jackson. It drops for his third basket. He's missed only one shot.
Well, we know he can space the floor, but Jackson is still at his best in the paint.
And last season, with all the injuries for the Memphis Grizzlies stand, Jaren Jackson had to play a bigger role and was effective.
Yeah, Kevin, I think we were all a little surprised at his offensive game. You know, he got more opportunity, and we saw him doing more things. He also played more at the center spot, you know, so he's become a great two-way player. We knew he was always an elite defender.
Absolutely. Jones trying to get open, and the basket by Castle. Castle's got it all tied up now for the Spurs.
Look at the space he had on that one, though. There's an obvious speed mismatch between the two.
Bain with the screen on Jones. You can see, and Coach, you can feel Ja Morant's star power, and his presence on the floor is such a factor. It affects the game.
Yeah, it sure does, and it even affects the energy in the building. His play is so dynamic, athletic, energetic. I mean, you can't sit and watch a Ja game. He's going to get you on your feet.
He is one of a kind for sure. First free throw is good. Greg, with how explosive Ja Morant is, he has certainly taken his fair share of awkward falls.
And that's what worries you with guys like that. He's already had a number of injuries in his young career, but we all just want to see him at full health.
Santi Aldama's checked in for Jackson. Greg, we know about the Euro step, but is the D-cell the next move that's getting more notice?
I think it is, Kevin, and you can see players have quickly incorporated that into their arsenal. It's been fun to watch, man, and I tell you, it creates some uncomfortable situations.
Here's Wembanyama. It's rebounded by Memphis. They're getting their first look of the season at San Antonio in this one.
Yeah, and they lost the season series to this squad last time around. Maybe a little extra motivation tonight to show they've improved.
Bane with the bucket.
Yeah, and their shooting really starting to pick up here in the second.
Paul looking around. Here's Sohan. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It goes on Brandon Clark.
Well, you can't be undisciplined guarding Sohan because he sometimes baits you into fouling him.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
And he's at 73% this year at the foul line. Adequate, but not spectacular.
That free throw missing.
Yeah, with how physical a game Sohan plays, you'd expect him to be at the stripe more.
Some changes for Memphis. Edey comes in for Brandon Clark. And Jaren Jackson subbed in for Santi Aldama. Good on the second free throw.
And working, Kevin, themselves to the line here in the second. A nice way to get your offense going.
Morant kicks to Wells. Pass to Jackson. Over Sohan. And Jackson with the basket on the assist from Wells. Jackson's got the lead up to 6 now for the Grizzlies. Floats it up for Wembanyama. Now Bane. He's been a nice option for them offensively, and he's averaging more than 17 points a game. Here's Jackson. Over Sohan. Jackson misses.
That's a defender doing just enough to cause a miss on the layup.
Ball finds Wembanyama. 11 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. For San Antonio, they have made 4 free throws from the line and missed 2. That free throw, no good. And he's good on the second. Here's Morant. And we know he can score. He's averaging around 21.5 points a game. Fires from way outside. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. And that'll do it for the first half. A competitive game so far. It's the Grizzlies. They lead by 5. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Greg Popovich. Pop, what do you think was the main issue during the first half?
We didn't make shots.
Thank you for that insightful analysis, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
Thanks for stopping by, y'all. First up on the show tonight, a quick look ahead of some upcoming games on the docket. Hold on, I just got an alert on my phone. Ooh, half off bowling after the game tonight. Who's in?
I imagine Shaq probably throws that bowling ball a little too hard, Ernie. I don't know.
False. I have a finesse game, Kenny. One time I hit a sit-down shot from the seats behind the lane.
Shaq's like a trick shot artist out there. He's diving, he's spinning. I'm curious to see what's left in the bag. I'll get the lanes. You guys bring your own shoes this time. All right, looking back now at that first half, a bit of a hill to climb for the San Antonio Spurs.
I like their approach on the boards. Get in there, establish position. Aggressively go after the ball, Ernie.
If they come out on top tonight, Shaq, that's how they're going to do it, by being more active and more physical than the other team.
That'll do it for our show tonight. Thanks for joining us, and we'll send you back to Kevin Harlan for more hoops action.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. You look at Jaren Jackson, what a contribution.
In those first 2 quarters, he was pretty much an automatic bucket getter if he got it down low on the block.
Reminds me of the good old days. Feed it to the big and let him work.
Memphis leading by 5. So on the floor for Memphis. The forwards for him, Bain and Jackson. Wells is out there with John Morant. And it's Edey in at the center, filling out the middle. Here's Jackson. Wembanyama with the rebound. Wembanyama has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. What a rise for Taylor Jenkins, working his way, Stan, from the G League, an assistant there, to NBA assistant, and now to NBA head coach. Wow.
Wow is right, Kevin. And Taylor Jenkins, one of the best coaches in the NBA. This is a guy who just kept grinding and learning. I think sometimes coaches get too concerned about when they're going to get their opportunity. Taylor Jenkins was always concerned about being ready when his opportunity came.
I think you and I are alike. We root for the grinders, don't we? The guys that have really worked to climb that ladder.
I certainly do, Kevin.
It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Kevin, the Grizzlies retired Marc Gasol's number 33 last season. You may recall he moved to Memphis in his teens, watching his older brother Powell play for the Grizz. Mark said, "I had a very unique perspective, that of a fan. When I came back as a Grizzlies player, I carried that with me." Kevin, that pride certainly showed.
Pride's a great word to use. No question, D.A. Thank you. Paul against Morant. Paul passes to Sohan. Wembanyama, a screen. A nice shot by Sohan. Sohan's got the game tied up here for the Spurs.
Boy, you could see their confidence growing. They have reason to believe.
Yeah, they're in this one. They have some momentum on their side, and they just need to keep up the intensity.
And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. A great opportunity for a three-point play. And we're seeing some big paydays for NBA head coaches these days, Stan. Do you miss it?
Do I miss the paychecks?
Yeah.
Payday was always really good in the NBA. No question about that.
What about now, though? What about now?
Well, it's gone through the roof. But look, the trade-off is the paydays are big, but there's not a great deal of job security, Kevin.
On the free throw, no good. The all-time leader in NBA wins, of course, the great Spurs coach, Greg Popovich. So here is a guy who's a peer. What makes him so special, Stan?
Well, first of all, Greg Popovich is not a peer of mine, Kevin. I would never be that presumptuous. This guy is an absolute icon in the coaching world. I think from the outside, I think what makes him so special is he's never looked at himself that way. He's never rested on his laurels. He's a guy that's always evolving and trying to get better.
I love that assessment, but I do think you're his peer.
Not in any way.
We've got a timeout called by Taylor Jenkins. Wants to talk some things over, might be seeing some things to adjust. Now at the moment here, let's take a look at our rookie leaderboard and who's putting up the most points per game. Victor Wembanyama, number 1.
And there's always firepower in every rookie class, but even among the top guns, he's the best of the best. He'll be an offensive force for years to come.
And he knocks down the first one.
Well, you talk about a guy who could start for any team in the league. That's what Jaren Jackson is all about.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. So Stan, the Grizzlies trio of Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, and Jaren Jackson Jr. From the outside looking in, what a great base going forward.
I agree with that, Kevin. Look, not only are those 3 outstanding individual players, but they complement each other so well. There's such a great fit with those 3 guys. That's a great base for the future. Well, when you look at what he's provided them on the offensive end, it's been an important part of why they're leading.
Paul with the screen for Vassell. Drains it from beyond the arc. Vassell's got his 3rd basket of the night.
Well, Vassell has the range to create a lot of trouble at the arc.
Outside, Bane back to Morant. And he makes good on the layup. And the Grizzlies lead by 3.
And you gotta love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of a grinded-out game.
Vassell with it. Guarded now by Jackson. Pass to Barnes. Clock at 6. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires.
And look at how quick he was to bite on the pump fake. Left his feet way too soon.
Morant against Paul. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Let's take a look at the numbers for Desmond Bane. Unbelievable play for him over the last month. 9th in steals, and he's in the top 20 in assists per game. His talent for creating easy buckets for his teammates, such an asset.
And talk about being top 10 in steals. I love his jumping the passing lanes and then stealing away your dribble. And that one misses. Well, Stan, when the Spurs landed the 1st overall pick in the draft, their fortunes changed back on May 16th, 2023.
Look, Kevin, the hardest thing for any franchise is to find the guy that you can build everything around. When they got Wembanyama, that dream came true for San Antonio, and they've got the guy they can build this franchise around for years to come.
Pass to Collins. Here's Castle. Collins, a screen on Morant. Back to Collins. Stolen by Jackson. 1:25 left in the 3rd. Here's Edey. He's guarded by Collins. Morant outside. A rebound by the Spurs.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jaren Jackson. That's foul number 2 for him. Some changes for Memphis. Clark, he's checked in for Edey. And Pippen subbed in for Bane. The 3 from Johnson. And that one is off. And so Morant will bring it up for the Grizzlies. A 2-point game. Comes up empty down low.
Well, despite his lack of efficiency, the team has put together a good offensive effort tonight.
Yeah, they're relying on their 3-point shooting and getting pretty good results.
Jackson, a screen on Vassell. Here's Morant. And the layup's good off the glass. Morant's got 7 points here in this quarter.
Well, something changed for him at halftime. He's been more solid on the offensive end.
About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Pass to Johnson. Over Jackson. No good with the elbow jumper.
Well, the analytics don't like it. But if the defense is giving it up, I like that shot selection despite the miss.
Grizzlies have shot 75% at the stripe, 6 of 8.
And their success rate on the season, right around 77%.
And that one falls for Clark. And so Clark nails both of them. From deep three-point land, and no good on the last second attempt this time. It's still anybody's game as we've reached the end of 3. Grizzlies lead by 3. Don't go anywhere. The final quarter is coming up next on 2K Sports. Now let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Now that is an elite level dish. What a great passer.
We've reached the fourth quarter, and what has been a very competitive game should be an exciting finish. So with Paul on the bench, here's how the floor looks for Greg Popovich. Trey Jones out there with Castle. Then it's Johnson. Then it's Collins. And it's Champagnie in at the small forward position. And the Grizzlies leading by 3. Here's Pippen. Count it.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Here's Castle. Guarded by Bain. Castle misses.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
Pass to Bain. Clark sets a screen for Bain. Driving inside. Lays it up off the glass. And the Grizzlies lead by 7.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high percentage looks from inside.
Collins, a screen on Pippen. Now Collins. Johnson right side. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Castle. Guarded by Bain. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Bain. And timeout is called by Greg Popovich. Clearly, he's got something his players need to hear. And immediately. The latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Greg Popovich talking to his team during the break. He knows they struggled at the free throw line, but he actually looked at the positive. He said, if we continue to get to the foul line, good things are going to happen. But we have to keep getting there. Maybe that'll take the heat off him a little.
Thank you, David. First minute and a half of basketball played here in the fourth quarter. Johnson, a wide open look. That's in, coming off an assist from Jones.
That's a nice bit of space, and Johnson was locked and loaded for that catch-and-shoot jumper.
Pass to Aldama. Back to Pippen. And Jones pulls it down. Spurs trail by 4. And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. Here's Castle. Shot clock at 6. The Spurs need to get a shot off here. Collins, good. And it's Taylor Jenkins calling timeout here. He has decided it's the right time to talk. So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. Memphis also making some changes. Edey's checked in for Brandon Clark. Jackson comes in for Santi Aldama. And it's John Morant in for Pippen. And so Morant will bring it up for the Grizzlies. The lead is 2. Memphis moving that ball around to the inside and stolen by Barnes. And here's the fast break. Sohan finds Barnes and Benyama with it. The fadeaway, and it's Morant with the rebound.
Yeah, loose coverage by the defense, but he just couldn't make them pay.
Pass to Bain. To the middle. Here's Jackson. Sinks that one from the post. And the Grizzlies lead by 4.
How about those points from Jackson? Big time.
Here's Sohan. Back to Paul. And here is Barnes. Over to the wing. Wembanyama down low. Over Edey. Oh, they get it back. Memphis leading by 4. Morant outside. And the rejection by Wembanyama. Over in the corner, Barnes hands it from downtown.
Well, Sohan is one of those guys that always looks for the next pass.
Memphis has gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Now here's Wells, covered by Vassell. Here's Morant. The rebound by the Spurs. Sohan's got 6 rebounds in the game. Inside, here's Vassell. It's good, and they get the go-ahead bucket. And that's now 9 points for Devin Vassell. The Grizzlies have gone 3 of 6 from the field so far in the fourth quarter. Paul with the steal. Floats it up for Wembanyama.
How about the rookie with the big shot? Wembanyama showing us he can meet those high expectations.
The Grizzlies trail by 3. Here's Morant. Outside for Jackson. That one's off. Still out of sync. Sohan the pass to Barnes. Pass to Wembanyama. Morant drives in and then jammed down as he goes right over Chris Paul.
Big-time basket at a big-time moment.
Yeah, don't you just love to see a player embrace that kind of pressure?
Nice job capturing the moment on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. Guys, they're not going to be in any rush on this possession.
Not with the lead. Now's the time to burn some clock.
And this is important for Wembanyama's development, wanting to step up and be a leader.
He hits the first one, and that will put them up by 2. So he gets them both, and it's a 3-point game.
A generational talent. For Wembanyama, the sky is the limit and the reality.
We've got a timeout called by Taylor Jenkins. The magnitude at this juncture in the game clearly warranting a timeout. What do you think Coach's focus is going to be here?
Yeah, and looking at how much time they have, I think it's likely we'll see them try to get a good look and score quickly.
They can more or less wrap it up right here.
This has to be a very smart possession.
Vassell kicks to Paul. Wembanyama, a screen on Bain. Barnes can't get it to go. And it's Taylor Jenkins calling timeout here. Coach clearly feeling the necessity to regroup with so much at stake here. What do you think we're going to see coming out of this timeout?
And it's do or die time. They need a bucket here
to stay alive.
Yeah, the clock is their enemy, and they know it. We'll see if they go for the tie or try and get a quick one.
19 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Payne for three. San Antonio with the rebound, and he commits the intentional foul.
And you know what? Smart foul. You got to try and extend the game.
So the first one drops, and that gives them a 4-point cushion.
And the enthusiasm and expectations for Wembanyama are off the charts for a rookie. That's a lot of pressure for a young man to deal with.
Great composure there. Calmly knocks them down to put this game out of reach.
And again, Memphis no good. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
You have to foul, but I'm sure they would have liked to foul someone different.
First free throw is good, and that increases their lead to 6. And so he drops them both. It's a 7-point game. And so it's San Antonio with the win. It was a fantastic ball game, and they did a great job making sure it didn't get away from them late.
Yeah, I mean, they faced some challenges, but really held firm when they needed to. On both ends, it's just effective in terms of coming away with this win.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Chris, what does a win like this do for you at this time of the season?
Hopefully it gives us a little momentum. We got a tough stretch coming up. We got our back-to-back next week, so hopefully it just gives us a little momentum.
We'll see if he can keep it going again. Thanks, Chris. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you for that, David. And that'll do it, folks. With Stan Van Gundy, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching, folks, on 2K Sports. And as we leave you, let's take a look at our player of the game, Victor Wembanyama.